This is really happening. This is really happening. Hey, everybody, Economic Ninja here. There is real fear. This is not a joke in the markets. How do we know? Because we watched the market go down 715 points on the Dow Jones today, which isn't by and large a big deal, right? Like, yeah, whatever. The thing's worth like 41,000 points, but it's what happened to the mod market and what we're going to talk about, because this is what I have been warning people about, because it is going to affect the crypto markets and so many other markets. So let's dive in right now. What happened today? All right, Dow Jones down 715 points, S&P down 112 points, NASDAQ down 481 points. But here's what's really, really important. Let's go to bonds. And this tells, even though we have seen the S&P fall pretty darn huge this in the last few weeks, as a matter of fact, to put it into perspective, the S&P fell in the last month. It's around the 8th largest drop in that amount of time ever in history. Okay, it's a big deal. All right, but it wasn't that big of a deal because I kept talking about how the bond market, the 10-year bond, really didn't go down. And I said, when you see the 10-year bond drop significantly, that's when you know there's fear in the market. Well, check this out. Blam. Look at that. Look at it. It's backwards. The US 10-year bond today dropped 0.116. Driving the 10-year yield below 4.3%, even after key inflation data shows hot prices. I can't believe that would even be the headline. Check this out. Treasury yields fell on Friday after new inflation data showed persistent price pressures. The yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note declined 11.8 basis points, trading at 4.251%. The 2-year fell 9 basis points to 3.9%. But it said, well, that's weird, right? Because they're digesting inflation data showing higher than expected rise in February. Do you remember, type 1, if you guys remember, the ninja said inflation's going higher. Inflation's going higher. It's going higher. No matter what Trump does, it's going higher. Now, if you guys remember me saying that, I've also stated many times that you're going to see a real estate crash. We're already seeing a real estate crash. As a matter of fact, today I'm going to throw out a flash crash sale. Links down below to the Real Estate Cycles course. It is 90% off. The timer is already set. Go check it out. It's one of my best-selling courses because it will open your mind to real estate cycles. And in that course, there is some lessons specifically about Federal Reserve interest rate policy. And you're going to see that exactly what I said was going to happen 2 years ago is playing out right now before your eyes. And then once you learn all that, you're going to see what's coming next. And you're going to be able to position yourself like you wouldn't believe. All right. So we've seen this 10-year drop, right? Which is great for people trying to get a mortgage, but we have not seen anything yet. You see, I believe that you are about to see an awakening and opening of people's minds to how bad the Biden administration printed currency. I believe you're going to see a revelation, and this can happen as soon as 4 weeks from now. I'd be shocked if it took 8 weeks, that Doge is going to uncover an insane scandal. Like, if you thought all of this USAID stuff was crazy, I'm telling you what, you haven't seen anything yet. And I believe it's going to cause the value of the dollar to plummet. Now, when I say plummet, I'm referring to like 10 to 15% in its value. Okay, so let me just lie that out there right now. Now, as we see today, crypto is starting to move down nicely. I've told you that I expect Bitcoin to be in the low 70s. I have been saying this for, no joke, 3 to 4 weeks. Type 2 if you guys remember that. I've told you to go to cash, not all cash. Don't sell everything if we're wrong, right? But I said, I didn't tell you to do it. I said I was doing it because I'm not a financial advisor. I can't be one, just so you guys know. I didn't take the class in school. It does not matter what my net worth is. It does not matter what my credit score is. It doesn't matter that I'm out of debt. What matters is that I took a class in college. All right. So I didn't do that. Okay. So don't take financial advice from me. But hey, just throwing this out there. Type yes or no. Do you think we're going to crash? Do you think we're going to crash? And a crash means, and it could mean various things. I believe you're going to see more than 50% shaved off of the stock market indexes. All right. So today, those of you that own gold, you're faring pretty nicely. $3,100 gold. Like, seriously, how many of you guys are crushing it? But you know what's funny? Everyone's talking about how the gold bugs are crushing it. You know who's crushing it more? Since I started this channel, gold was around, I think, 1,300, 1,350, right? 1,350, and it's now 3,100. I'm pretty sure, I'm just going to throw out a guess because silver was at $14. It's now $34.82. I think silver is still beating gold. Just saying. Now I got both, but I have more silver than gold. I'm a silver bug. Sorry. Okay. I like betting on the losers. I love watching the YouTube videos of the kids are getting picked on by the bullies at school, and then they knock their clock off. I just knock them out because I think that's really what's about to happen. And I want you guys to be on that winning side of the equation. Don't be the cocky person. All right. So we're talking about this inflation data, and I think it's very, very important. Wall Street sell-off deepens on inflation worries. Now, why would people worry about inflation? Well, it's actually super simple. And I'll give an example. I've been getting, I guess maybe it's my age showing, but do me a favor, type your age down below. If it's starting to piss you off that everybody's expecting a tip these days, just type because it may not be an age thing. I'm about to get to 50. You may be in your 60s, you may be in your 30s. You're going, why is everybody wanting tips? Now, I was a waiter and a busboy for a large part of my life, percentage of my life, about, 7 years, right? I worked in the service industry, but I'm going to be honest with you. If you go to work at Starbucks, you applied for the job, you should just go, how much is my starting wage? Oh, it's $18 an hour. Oh, it's $20 an hour. Okay, cool. Why do you need $1 every time you go and get a cup of coffee for someone, right? Just throwing this out there. Lately, I've heard some servers that I got to honestly believe are so full of themselves when somebody was tipping them 10% on a couple of beers, and because the 2 beers cost like $15 and they gave them $1. And I go, how long did it take you to pour those beers? Are seriously? I mean, if you want any more, then you'd be making like $150 an hour. I'm just saying. See, the thing is our society right now is in a point where if you don't give people a reason to become better, they will never get better. All right? I went and bought tickets. I'm going to go on a little rant. Is it cool if I go on a rant? Just type yes or no. Just do me a favor. Type yes or no. And if you say no, it's okay. You don't got to watch this channel. It's called a free nation, free world. Unless you live in the UK. Sorry, guys. I went and bought ski passes. They're insanely expensive. Why? It's because our country, when you go to Europe, you go to Japan, you go to all these countries to go snowboarding, it costs a lot less because there's less access to credit in those countries than there are here. See, that's the thing. Why is college so expensive? Well, because there's easy access to student loans. And if you voted for Biden, you were voting for someone that was going to hopefully pay off your loans. The thing is that Americans are in a stranglehold right now due to inflation. And this is why years ago I was warning people, and I'm encouraging you guys, type it down below. Did you buy Bitcoin, gold, or silver? If you bought any of those or any of these other cryptocurrencies, XRP and all that stuff, I know they're going down, but I warned about that too. All right. And I think you're going to see an amazing opportunity in a week. I know. All right. Sorry. I'm not going to talk like Cartman. All right. But my point being is that we are in a moment right now where there are amazing opportunities. And this is getting really exciting. Now, in a market, now think about this, where everything's crashing, right? I'm not saying it's all going to crash tomorrow, Saturday. Crypto might, you never know. But my point being is that you're in a moment where you could take some of your assets and convert them to other assets that are down even more and make an amazing arbitrage. It's like an arbitrage to the downside. We are in a moment where people are going to be very, very confused because a lot of people that voted for Trump wanted to, vote in more freedom and a different type of leadership are going to be very confused when markets are turning down. And the thing is, and hopefully people understand, Trump and the White House needs this to happen. Trump needs people to be in a moment where they go, oh my gosh, we're in a recession. We're going to slow down our spending. We're going to get scared and regress. And the markets are going to tank. Why? Because exactly what I've been telling you is happening today is going to help the economy on the long term. It will force the 10-year bonds down, the interest rates. It'll force the 2-year bond rates down, the 5-year, the 30-year, all of these, which will make borrowing cheaper, okay? But there's this lag effect. When everyone gets scared and jumps off a cliff and sells, and then people are moving into safety with bonds, the G fund and things like that, then they're going to have to sit there and they're going to have to get out of that scaredness. And I don't want you to be one of those people. I want you going, you know what? The ninja told me this was going to happen 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. It's happening. He said this was going to go up, this was going to fall. And I'm like, okay, now we got to go and do this. If you have been getting ready, if you've got some cash on the side and you've got a cool head, you're going to absolutely crush it in the next 6 months. Just wait till you see what happens in crypto. This is the most exciting time of our lives. If you want to be in real estate, links down below to the real estate crash course. I guarantee you, for the cost of that course, your mind is going to be changed forever when it comes to real estate cycles. And you're going to go, oh, I shouldn't buy and hold all the time. There are actually cycles to get in and get out. And you're getting close to a getting in moment because they're about to be, in this spring and summer, so many homes to hit the market. You're going to see sellers capitulate, panic, and drop prices like you wouldn't believe. At the same time that interest rates are going down. I hope you understand. This is what I experienced in the year 2001. While people were telling me I was crazy to buy real estate, this is the moment we've been waiting for. This is exciting. You need your mind changed just a little bit. We need to get you on just a little bit of a different move. Oh, I got to go that way. That is going to be your journey, your change that you've got to make. You just got to take your positioning and what you think is reality right now when it comes to capital markets and equity markets and go, oh wait, now I see it clearly. I so wanted to talk like Cartman or SpongeBob. I can't. You know, the last 3 months has really shown me a lot about this channel, the power of it, the capability of all of you. I mean, it really has blown my mind to see how you guys have and ladies have changed your attitudes about money. Type 10 if you have been getting out of debt since you started the channel. I still can't get over it. And this isn't to make me feel good about myself. You already do that. This is to show other people. Like, this is a movement, right? How many of you type 100 if you've gotten out of debt, or as you're getting out of debt, you've experienced what I've told you, where your mind is opening up and you're like, oh my gosh, I have less stress. I don't feel that weight on my shoulders anymore. I have less stress and things are changing. Like, I'm seeing things differently. Type 100 if that's you. Now look at, as people are commenting right now, I want you to look in the comment section, whether this is live or pre-recorded. I want you to look at all the people that are typing these hundreds. I want you to be just like them. You see, because the only way we take back our nation and we take back the world from these elitist, globalist pukes is by becoming wealthy. And wealth is being independent of government or banks, right? You know, this whole like, oh, be your own bank, be your own bank. You know what? The only way you actually become your own bank is not only to be out of debt, but to be a lender and not a borrower. Now, I want you to borrow money and I want you to go and crush it, but you need to do it in an LLC and protect yourself and all that kind of stuff. But in your own personal life, I want you to own everything you've got. And then I want you to loan money, be a lender, make a good interest rate, a fair interest rate. Don't screw anybody. Everyone I know that's ever screwed anybody or screwed me has always failed in life. Be honest, be good. This is how you are successful. And then you'll just rile up the demons everywhere around you, because demons don't like that crap. So I keep thinking of things Cartman would say right now. All right, let's dive over to Zero Hedge really quick, if you guys don't mind. I highly suggest, if you don't, you know what's funny? Can I tell you a story about a very close friend of mine? He's going to watch this, but I'm going to talk about him. His name's, no, I'm not going to say his name. Very good friend of mine. He called me today and he said, I'm going to buy one of your classes. And I go, don't buy a course from me. And he goes, no, I have to. Now, we've been friends for like 25 years, mind you, a long time. He says, you're right. I've been listening to you lately. He came up and went snowboarding with me one day, skiing. And he said, you're right. Everything I've ever gotten for free, I've taken advantage of and never used it. And he said his wife had said, well, if he really wants to help people, he'll give it to them for free. And I told him to ask his wife, say, I've been giving you financial advice for 25 years or 20 years since you guys have been married. How much of it have you taken? And I said, you know what? Good for you. Let's go do this. You're going to absolutely crush it. And he's all of a sudden becoming this sponge of information when it comes to finance, like way before. Like he was the guy that took the hot tip. Like, oh, here's a hot tip. And one of them he took from me, and it didn't pan out, is that Sponge Tech stock I told you I was a part of. Big Ponzi scheme. And that was a long time ago. That was 25 years ago. But my point being is that he's getting it, and people are getting it all around the world. And you've got to have a little skin in the game. You know, sometimes it costs me as little as a cup of coffee to take someone out to coffee, maybe a dinner, or maybe I have to fly across the nation to go and talk to somebody and meet them on their ground and take them out to dinner just to get some information from them. Everywhere I've gone to learn about money and finance, I've paid for it, whether it be a book or a course or something like that. And if you have ever wanted to invest in real estate, especially for your own home or rentals, I highly suggest you take a look at that course. I have put together a course that has changed thousands and thousands of people's mindset, and they are now on the road to becoming wealthy. As a matter of fact, I'm just curious, are there any millionaires that have hit the $1 million mark? Just type 1 mil if you have, since you've been watching the channel over the last 4 years, have become a millionaire. Just curious. I hear about it in comments. I see them in comments on other YouTubers' sites talking about this channel and things like that. I've gotten emails, and I'm just curious if anyone here is hit that mark. But my point being is that every single one of you have the ability. The only thing holding you back is you. So here's the question. Are you ready to do it? Yes or no? If you're ready to become a millionaire, say, I'm ready to become a millionaire. And start talking like it so that you start acting like it so that you become it. This is not a joke. I'm dead serious. You know, in the beginning of the channel and throughout the channel, I've told you I am going to be a billionaire soon. That is, I have been saying that for quite some time. People would scoff at me and laugh. They don't know anything about me. Even my closest friends don't know a lot about me. And that's not a bragging thing. Tony Robbins says he just became a billionaire. He crossed $1 billion in assets in September. I had some guy that's pretending to be a billionaire. He's very famous too, by the way. He's all over the internet. Says he's a billionaire. He's actually not. $1 billion in debt does not make you a billionaire. $1 billion in in assets do. Okay, that's minus the debt that it takes to get you those assets. I am shooting to be a billionaire. I want to feed a nation. That is my life's work. That is what I'm going to do. You can't spend it all. Shoot, you can't spend even multi-millions. It's just the truth. You can't spend it. You ever seen Brewster's Millions? The movie Brewster's Millions? Awesome movie. Go watch it. You can't spend it all. You can't take it with you, but you can change this world with it. Everyone else is out there giving happy thoughts and prayers. Yeah, you know what? You can't feed people with happy thoughts and prayers. Even Jesus, when everybody was hungry, didn't say, I'll just make food appear. You know what he said? Does anyone have anything? Does anyone have anything? And a young boy said, my mom sent me with, 3 loaves and 2 fish. I'm sure the religious people will correct me. I'm probably wrong on that thing too. The kid had some fish and bread, and then Jesus multiplied it. Well, we got to have something for the Lord to multiply. And if you don't have something to give, you're not going to have anything to multiply. So let's start thinking big and let's start waking up. All right? Hopefully you have a great day. The Economic Ninja. Oh, sale links down below. Crash sale. Stupid sale. The markets are crashing sale. The Ninja's been warning about this sale. I don't even know what to say it. Gosh darn it. I don't know why I got to have a sale on this stuff. No, that's not even Cartman. Jeez, you don't even know the... gee, Mr. Krabs. Why don't we have the money for those sales? The Economic Ninja is out. That was a bad example.